Welcome back to another episode of Command Set Go. And today we're going to be talking to my friend, my co-host, Jeffrey, also known as Jeff, by the way, Reyes. And we're going to be talking about building your database, but we're going to be focusing on doing it a specific way. Jeff, you ready for this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go, man. Welcome back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be back. So we're focused on really kind of on the paid side of things. So there's lots of things that you can do inside of Command to generate, free leads. Nothing's ever really truly free because you're either using time or using money, right? And so today we're just going to kind of focus on where you can spend a little bit of cash to get some of those leads. And so we'll pop into Command here.
All right, let's go.
So obviously, most of our people here with us here in SoCal are used to, kind of probably already have all this stuff set up. But if you don't already, obviously you're going to go into your settings and connect your Facebook. You're going to connect Google AdWords. You're going to connect those pieces, and you're going to want to make sure that your marketing profile is done. So just like to reiterate that each time, because sometimes if we got newer people on, they may not know that. So go ahead and go in and do that. Second, we're going to go inside of campaigns. So campaigns is where, if I want to spend money to grow my business, I'm going to click on this megaphone. Okay, so if I want to do things that are more free, that's where I can go inside of designs and some other places to take that and post it. But campaigns is where I'm going to go to spend money to generate business. And you can see here, I've got my Facebook and my Google AdWords connected inside of here. You can see up top, these are campaigns that you already have running. Okay, so if I've got paid ads, these are my paid ads that I have going or have had in the past. If I've done email campaigns or direct mail or social.
Question for you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Me, this is a question from me.
Yep.
Because I run Facebook ads and I run Google ads outside of Command. I don't run them in Command. Can you tell me what you've seen? Because now that you're running both, that's kind of cool. I didn't know you were running both in Command. What have you seen the difference between both? Which one are you gravitating to?
Are you talking about Facebook versus Google?
Yeah.
I'm going to do both. And the reason being is think about it this way. Let me stop the screen for a second. So I think about it like this. So do you open up a social networking app to buy a house?
Never.
Correct. Do you open up a search engine to search for things, when you're looking at buying a product? All the time, right?
No, yeah. I see where you're going. I like these questions. This is like a Q&A. Go ahead.
So, I mean, outside, like if I'm trying to, usually if I see something on social or something like that, then I'll check Amazon or I'll go, something like that.
Yep.
So by running ads on Facebook, really think about it like this way. Running ads on Facebook, I'm finding people. Can I find a right now buyer or seller? You can. The percentage of a chance of finding that right now person is extremely low versus Google. So I'm closer to the transaction with Google because people are searching for key terms, right? So the lead that I capture from Facebook is somebody who is scrolling, looking through stuff. They stop to look at that ad and they say, well, this is intriguing. Let me get some more information. But where they're at in that transaction process, we don't have really good data to be able to say, okay, this person is within 30 days of buying a property and let's go after them. Whereas with Google, they're searching in key terms like homes for sale in Rancho Cucamonga, or homes, stuff like that, right? Or what's my home value? so that we're wanted to capture people who are actively searching
Mm-hmm.
terms. Now, that means obviously the cost per registration is going to be higher because we're closer to that transaction. We're paying a little bit more for that opportunity. Same way, kind of like, you know, a Zillow lead or something like that. When you're paying Zillow, maybe your average with Zillow is like $200 per lead, but statistically speaking, you're going to be much closer to that transaction with that Zillow lead because they've gone through that whole process, you know, that Zillow does the churning and all that sort of thing.
Well, also, man, Zillow, when people go to Zillow or Realtor.com, they go there for a purpose, right? To search for homes. And usually they're closer to the bottom of the funnel, meaning they're closer to actually transacting once they reach out to an agent through Zillow or Realtor. All right, you answered my question. Let's go back to Command, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can get kind of lost in that conversation.
I know I can.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, you know, like I don't know if you're very much into, you know, because you could sell a product on Amazon, but I can also sell a product on Instagram, but I can also sell on Amazon and use Amazon's PPC. It's going to cost me a whole lot more. My margin's going to be less on Amazon, but people are going to trust it more, right?
Very true.
So, so anyways, let's go into, if I want to create any sort of campaign, regardless of what it is, I'm going to go into campaigns. I'm going to click create a new campaign. And this is where I'm going to choose which way I want to go. And so I'm going to go a little bit quick in here, but I'm going to show you where you can get the answers to all this. Okay. So we go inside of social. So this is where obviously we want to go to run ads on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, things like that. Now, each one of these buttons. So when I say I want to advertise a listing, not only is it going to Command is going to grab that listing and all the information for that listing and populate that into the ad, but each one of these is specifically designed to target a group of people for you. So you can go in, you can customize your targeting and all that, or you can just let that Facebook and Command integration do its magic behind the scenes and let it find the right people for you. So I would always err on the side of let's just see what Command can do for us before I really start kind of tweaking things. And so in this case, let's just go and say we want to advertise a listing. So somebody give me a listing in the chat. We're going to advertise one, and we're going to put this on Facebook. We're going to set up campaign. And let's see, did anybody put one inside the chat? There's got to be somebody that's got a listing. Come on.
Yeah, let's see. All right. I need your help here on the webinar portion of this for our region out here in Southern California. Throw up one of your listings so that Jeff can put it up here. Make it a good one.
Grab one if nobody's gonna.
Make it a good one. We'll give it 5 seconds. So there we go.
There
Shauna.
we go. Long Beach.
Boom.
Thank you,
Shauna. Thank you.
So whenever you click on add a listing in here, it's going to show it as okay, these are my listings, or you can say all listings. If you're, if you got an agent in your office that's letting you advertise one of their listings, what have you, that's where you're going to change that to show all. So let's just put this listing in here. And here we go. This is the one, and we're going to click select.
Easy.
It's going to grab all that data in here. Okay, now you'll notice that it's putting in this main copy. This is something new for Command here. I just made that purple bubble go away. You click this guided tour. This is a newer thing inside of Command that the product team has done a really good job on. If you're lost, not only can you go inside of answers.kw.com, but you click on this guided tour, any page that you see this on, and these bubbles will really help you walk through this process. So the product team has added some new stuff in here to help you out with that. So,
all right, question for you before you keep going. Candace has a question. Are you in social ad or search ad?
Social. So social is anything that's a social network. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Search is going to be my Google ads. So we're specifically right now focusing on social.
Perfect.
So here's what I would do. So I'm bringing in a listing. Okay. One of the things that I would do is emojis work really, really well in helping to stop that scroll of people inside of there. So one of the things I would do is when you're looking at some of this text that's inside of here, you can click on this little emoji icon on the bottom right and scroll through and find some emojis that, now I wouldn't use a ton, but some that emphasize the point you're trying to make. So like here's the house one, right? So I'm going to copy this guy and put him here. And then, you know, laundry area, you know, maybe you want to add in, you know, a laundry emoji or something like that, or dining, you put in some food emojis or whatever, okay? But emojis really help in stopping that. It puts some added eyeball attention into this space here. The other thing I would do is, in doing this, I'm going to want to break this text here. And the reason why I want to break some of this text is it creates a some more white space in the ad. And this white space will cause a the ad to click see, so they'll have to click see more. And so when you, I don't know if you've seen that before in ads, you see it and you click it, it causes it to expand it, they interact more with it. And so your engagement scores and stuff like that will increase. So I'm going to try to create a little bit of white space inside of your ads.
Jeff, I actually taught this a little bit. Let me, I'm going to share my screen really quick, and then I'm going to go back to you just so I can show people what I created here. This is a graphic that my team created, and this can help you understand really what to make things look like so that it's more appealing according to the psychology of how people see things on social media. All right. So do me a favor, snapshot this right now, because I don't have a link to this. I have the actual graphic, but I don't have a link to it. So snap it right now. And you can see, actually, Jeff was right. He was saying, hey, let's use some emojis. You can see that. You can see some spacing, right? Definitely some spacing. And then what you can start adding are either tags to tag somebody, tag maybe your team if they're on Facebook, right? And use some hashtags in between there and make sure that the visual, the picture, the actual picture is appealing. So many times we use listings that don't have the most appealing pictures. And then that's probably the #1 reason the ad doesn't do well, right? But Jeff's on the right track here. So snapshot that. Back to you, Jeff. Just wanted to do that.
No, that's huge, man. I mean, that's the autonomy of the ad is so important in driving down your cost. You know, so if you're with command, you know, say our average is like $1.87 or, you know, something like that. If you're experiencing, if you're in Southern California and you're experiencing ad costs over $5, $6, $7 a lead, then odds are there's some issues with your ad. So the ad copy, which means, so this main copy here doesn't match where you're sending people. So Facebook will push you down. There's lots of different things in there. So if you want your best shot and your lowest cost per lead, make sure that you're having engaging copy in here, and that copy is going to match where you're sending people to, okay? Because if you're just throwing something up there just to get people's information, Facebook is not going to like that. It's going to push you down. It's going to cause your cost per lead to go up.
True.
Okay. So in headlines, again, this is where, you know, you're going to put a capturing, you know, something inside of here, and then your description as well. Your description is what comes in down here. This bold text is your headline. The ad media, you can configure this, and you can, one of the things that I like to do is, this goes back to like what you're saying, I would like to add a little bit more, but I want to put in some of what are the best features of the home, or what I think most people would like. So if I'm, let's say I'm saying, hey, I want everybody to know this home is, you know, just shy of a little over $1 million, but it's 3 bedrooms, it's got a pool, you know, this is a great property. I'm gonna want to showcase some of that stuff. And so if I'm saying inside the ad, hey, this is a great home with great schools, pool, all that stuff, I'm gonna want to make sure that I'm including those pictures and that information inside the ad. And when you add in a couple of pictures, now I don't want to give away everything, right? Because I want them to give me their info and click and go through it. But I want to give them some pictures there. Now, what's great about adding more than one picture is it turns it into what's called a carousel ad. So you get, you know, you've seen these before on your phone where you open up and you get more engagement because you're kind of flipping through some of these pictures. And that also kind of helps to filter out a little bit of some of the bad, the quote unquote bad leads, right? So I want to make sure that people, hey, they've seen a few pictures of this home and it's really engaging. They're going to want to look at it. So I want to make sure that my pictures here match my description. And then on my Facebook ad, again, you know, you're just picking your account name, your page that you're using, and then I always use the Facebook lead generation form. Okay, and the reason why is if I use the Facebook lead generation form, and then I send somebody to, once they register, you have this follow-up destination URL. If I have somebody who, if they just click the learn more button on Facebook, and I'm not using a Facebook lead gen form, and I'm sending them to my command isn't going to do forced registration. So kind of like Redfin or Zillow or any of those other portals, if I go there, it doesn't force me to register to look at stuff. So same thing with kw.com. So what I want to do is I want to capture their information, and that's another reason why Google is more expensive, is there isn't that forced registration factor. So I'm going to want to always use Facebook lead gen forms so I get their data. And then in this follow-up destination URL, this is really kind of the main difference here of how you want somebody to land on your site. So if I'm using a specific listing, there's a couple ways that you can go about it. You're going to want to go to your command website, your agent site, and you know, you can pull up that listing. Let me go to the chat and see again what that listing was here.
The one in Long Beach?
There's the 11422.
Oh, you ended up using 11422 Pomerine
Yeah.
Road.
That's what I did, yeah.
See what you got.
I wonder why that didn't turn in. Let's spell that right.
You did.
I wonder why that one didn't pull in.
Take off east. Sometimes it doesn't read the east part.
There we go.
Oh, there it is. Sweet.
Okay. So if we grab this listing, so I can send somebody to this particular destination URL. Okay, so I could copy this and paste that into here, and that would be totally fine. And somebody's going to land on that listing page. It's going to have that information there. Whenever we do these Zoom things with this, sometimes it's slow. There we go.
For sure.
But you get the point. So it's going to land on something like this. There we go. So it's going to land on this guy here, and it's got some information on here. It's going to have your branding because you're using your subdomain. It's going to have this lead capture form down here. It's going to have Keller Mortgage information on here as well. So it's got all this information on here. Okay.
Mm.
Now you can do that and you could send somebody there, and that is perfectly fine. Or if you wanted to make something a little bit more custom, you can create a landing page inside of consumer, and create a specific landing page for that. Either way, you're going to put that information in here. And then I would, on ad targeting, I would just kind of leave this the way it is and just let that integration do its work, at least in the beginning. And then on my duration, this is really up to you guys on how much you want to spend. If think about it this way, if the average is, let's say, $2 a lead, really you got to go back to your goal setting and your business planning setting and say, you can't expect to get a closing a month if you're spending $50 on Facebook leads a month, right?
Yep.
So if I'm, let's say the average is one closed transaction per 100 leads, okay, and let's say the average lead cost is, for easy math, is $5. How much does that need? How much money do I need to spend per month on Facebook leads?
How much?
So if it's $5 a lead, let's see if we can do our realtor math. If we're at $5 a lead, right? Let's throw this in the comments. If I got $5 a lead and it takes 100 leads to get a closing, how much money do I need to spend on Facebook ads a month?
Let's see what we got.
Oh, Pam's so smart.
That's why, see, Pam shows up every day.
Right? So here, that's a big thing, because think about it like this. How many people think, oh, I spent $50 and I didn't get anything out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I'm sure you hear that a ton of times. Well, buddy, if you're not spending what it takes to get there, you're never going to get there, right? And you're going to sit there and say, oh, well, this sucks, or oh, this doesn't work. But if you're not spending the money that it takes to get to that transaction, it's never going to happen. So just remember that rule of one closing for every 100 registrations. So I'm going to need to spend, if it's $5 a registration I'm getting on Facebook, I need to make sure I'm spending $500 a month. Okay. So that's just a big thing to understand.
I love that. Quick question here. Can you make an ad here, a video ad, or no?
So if you go to add media,
Yep.
you click on video.
Perfect. Just wanted you to show that.
Select that media, and then you can, however you want to do that there.
Love it, dude. Yep. Jennifer, there you go.
Yep, absolutely. So that's that information there. Now, if you go to consumer, and we'll leave this for a second here. If you go to consumer, and let's say, you have this landing page, but you want to do something maybe that was a little bit, maybe something that was a little bit more custom. And to do that, you simply come to consumer, you go create a new site. I'm doing a standalone page. Okay. I'm going to create a page, and the team has made this so simple. I'm just going to grab some of these widgets, and I'm going to grab a branded header, so I want to make sure everybody knows who I am. And then I'm going to grab the listing, put that in. And right now I'm not configuring it. I'm just grabbing the pieces of it. So this is what it's going to look like. It's going to look like this. It's going to have that information to show the map of the property. But if I want to add a market snapshot to that, so people kind of know what's happening in the market, I can add that to it. I can add some other information. If I got a video of the listing, I can do that there. But I'm going to just do that. I'm going to add my lead form here at the bottom. And then I can add my agent branding here to say like, hey, just want to let everybody know again how great I am. So I'm gonna put that there. And then I'm gonna put my legal footer. And this legal footer is got all your BRE information, all that kind of stuff.
All that sexy stuff.
All of it, super sexy. So once I got this in there, then I just hit configure widgets, and I'm just gonna walk through each one of these, and I'm just gonna make sure that, hey, everything in here is the way I want it, and then I just hit this next button. There's no listing here, so I just click browse, I find the right one. So let's just say it's this one. It's okay, yeah, that's the one I want. I can also change the header image if I want it to be a different one. Hit save and apply. And so you're just going to walk through these and just change anything that like on this market snapshot, I could change this to be whatever whatever zip code, you know, I want that to be, or a specific neighborhood within inside that zip code.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to go through all that, then you're going to hit publish that page. Okay.
Dude, I feel like we just got taught how to do a landing page in 3 minutes.
Well, you know, and here's a testament to how easy this stuff is. And so, and how great of a job the team has done and is continuing to improve on that stuff. Because you can create a landing page to do multiple things. And so, you know, like you can create one to do just a market snapshot. If you're the kind of person that's, you know, let's say you're creating like Market Monday updates, or you're doing stuff like that on social, then I could just create a page, a landing page, you know, something like this. That's a link on my social post about what's happening in the market, and then they can click on it to get a little bit more information. So
Easy.
creating these landing pages, and once you've created those landing pages, they live and breathe in consumer and right here on the landing pages. So
Yeah.
super
And look,
simple.
if you missed any of that, this is recorded so you can slow it down once it goes up tomorrow on the YouTube channel.
And here's something else. Every time I try to teach something Command, I really want people to understand something, and that's I'm going to put this in the chat here. Bookmark answers.kw.com, because the team, the product team, and Paul and all those guys over there, they do a really good job of coming into inside of Command, and like you could search in here landing page. Okay. There's everything I need. Like here's one that I think a lot of us should do is create a testimonial capture landing page. So if I click this create a testimonial capture landing page, this is going to create a page where I can send all my past clients or all my friends and say, hey, I need to collect some testimonials. I need to collect, you know, some social juice, you know, of about how great of an agent I am. And so I can just create this testimonial landing page, send that out. Here, I'm going to put this in the chat. This is one that I think everybody should create and send that out to your sphere. That's
a really good idea, especially with the news that Zillow is removing all of your past sales on their site, right? So I mean, the next thing is they could remove reviews. They could remove anything they want. So why would you be going to Zillow to make it your primary place to ask for reviews? The primary place I would do is either something I own like this, right? Or Google. And I would really have Zillow as the last place. So just remember that.
So I don't want to gloss over that, because you're making a huge thing. I just don't think most people understand. We actually talked about this morning in our regional tech trainer stand up, and Zach Younger had brought up this point as well, and that is, you know, he made the equation of if you don't think that Zillow is trying to monetize further their platform, you're ignorant, right? Because they're a publicly traded company. The whole thing is all about increasing stock value for your shareholders, all that sort of thing, right? So in doing that, is it in that company's best interest to house your reviews, your past sales, your past, all that stuff that's all great about you without you paying anything? Absolutely not. That's the same thing as Yelp. You know, Yelp, if I've got all these reviews and all this stuff and I'm not paying Yelp, do you think Yelp's gonna let me do that for free forever? Nope.
Right? That's not a profitable model, man. Come on.
Correct, right? And so everything's free until we want to monetize, right? And so that's kind of how tech works. And so this is a great way, you know, and Gary has always talked about from the beginning of building that moat around the real estate agent. And doing this is a great way to help you start digging that trench, start digging that moat around your business and saying, hey, I want to put all this information there. So I would definitely implore everyone to go ahead and start working on this particular one. And again, just go to answers.kw.com and search for or it's there inside of the comments. But everything that we teach and everything we always do is right inside of this, inside our answers.kbo.com. And so you can go in here and get all that. Also, you know, for our Southern California people, you come in here, if you've got an issue, a bug, or anything that's just kind of like that, sign in with your KW email address, submit a request, and in Austin, the team there will help to try to answer that question. If you're not getting the response that you need, or it's taking too long or something like that, then that's when you would escalate to your market center tech trainer, and they would escalate that to someone like me, or your regional tech trainer. For Southern California, that's me. For other parts of the country, it's my other partners. And so that's how that works. So this is a place you're really going to want to bookmark
for your business there.
There you go.
You still got me?
Yeah, I got you. Your audio changed. It sounded like you went through a different mic.
Yeah, that's thinking. I love Apple, dude.
Wait, hold on, dude. That sounds good.
Apple's the best. I love.
Oh, now you're back to being in a closet.
Right?
Hold on. Question from Sydney. What's up, Cindy? Cindy Zabner's got a good question. What are the testimonials forward to once they submit it on the landing page?
That's a great question. So this is my testimonial capture page. And then right here it says, click here to learn how to create a testimonial display page on your KW site. So you're just going to click there, and this is going to walk you through how you create a testimonial page. So on your agent site, it's going to say from our client. So this is what they're saying. It's got the stars. It's got all that cool stuff on there. And then it will end up displaying how that looks. And then if you're wanting to know more about, hey, you know, like my particular agent site, if you were to go to my website, it's just simply just a couple little links on here. I don't have anything really cool on there right now. But if I wanted to learn more, I can click on this little button here, and I can go through really, how do I customize my agent website? So I'm gonna put this one here in the sites. And put that in there. What page you say to bookmark on KW site? Just the generic answers.kw.com. So if you just forget it, just bookmark that one. So that way you have that, and that's where anything and everything you're ever going to want to know is going to be inside of there. And that's how you can reach out for support as well.
Dude, I feel like we dropped so much knowledge in the last 20 minutes. People are going to have to press pause and replay on this. All right.
I want to show one more. I want to give a little bit more before we
my brain hurts, Jeff. Come on. What the hell's wrong with you?
For us, I got big brain. As my son says, that's big brain. That's
big brain.
Right? So we're gonna go big brain here for a second, right?
Should we call this session the big brain session?
Sure. We'll call it that. We could call it a lot of things. We could call it a waste of time. We could call it whatever you want to call it.
Not a waste of time. All right, go.
I really want to go into Google for a second, because we're talking about how Google is the closest to the transaction, right? So you're going to need a Google AdWords account, just like you're going to need a Facebook account. So make sure that you go and you set up your Google AdWords account. You're also going to want to set up your Google business account, all that sort of stuff. So let's say we've got all that set up. Now, if you're anything like me, I am really good at taking something from 100 to 500, but I'm not really good. I'm not the guy to take something from 0 to 100. Does that make sense? I'm not necessarily the entrepreneur that's good at kind of coming up with something super creative out of nothing and turn it into something. But I can take something that somebody else created and improve upon it. Okay. And so for me, if I go and I create a new campaign, I create Google, let's say I'm going to advertise a listing. Okay. Let's say that's my goal, is to advertise my listing for Google. I'm going to come here and I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, crap, what do I say? What do I do? Now, I took honors English, but I just got good enough to get through.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count, Jeff. It doesn't count.
No, right? And so
Honors
uh,
English.
that's not.
Jeff, I think I walked into that class by accident and I got kicked out. It's like, go back to remedial English.
There's a few things I can flex on, and academically I can flex a little bit. Are you, what are you drinking?
It's a cold brew. It's just
Oh.
coffee. It's coffee, buddy.
I thought you were hitting the hard kombucha early, bud.
You thought I was hitting beer early in the morning. You're like, what the hell is that? I'm like, hold on.
It's okay if it's hard kombucha, because that doesn't sound as bad as beer, right? No, so if you're anything like me and you don't know how to really kind of come up with anything cool, like if all your listing descriptions start with "it's beautiful inside," you're my friend, okay? And so here's a trick. Here's something that you should do, bookmark. It's called spyfoo.com. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the chat. So SpyFoo is an acronym. Kind of figure it out. Spy, F-U. Okay, and so we're gonna come in here, and now here's where you want to do is, who do you know that's a competitor, right? So somebody that's using, let's say that is using pay-per-click. So somebody that's got like Boomtown or something like that.
I mean, we know Zillow's using pay-per-click.
Well, if you don't know that person, you could just come into here and let's go type in homes for sale in Thousand Oaks. Let's just say, okay.
Watch.
Now we've got some of these people here. Now, what I'm looking for is not necessarily the realtor.com ones, but I'm looking for some of these like the CARP group. Okay. So let's just type in the CARP group.com. It's showing up right here. Okay.
Okay, cool.
And so now what SpyFoo is going to tell us is it's going to tell us within a reasonable estimation what they're doing on their pay-per-click. And it's going to tell us who is their organic competitors, who's their paid competitors. So shop1000oaks.com is spending a ton of money. Let's just go, let's actually click on those guys. Okay. And we can see these guys are spending a lot. And here's their keywords that they're using that are their most successful. So when you're going inside of, when I'm creating a campaign and I need to put in my keywords, guess what? I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to say, hey, what's working for these guys? Right? I'm going to grab that information. I'm going to do that there. And then on the actual, like, what's the ad going to say? I'm going to come in here and SpyFoo is going to show me for that keyword, here's what the ad that they're saying. Okay, so here's the actual ad that they're displaying. All right, so I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm simply just going to come in and I'm going to say, okay, if this works for you, then I'm just going to grab some of this text here and I'm going to copy it, come in here, I'm going to paste it. Because I don't want the exact same thing, I'm going to make it my own a little bit. So, Thousand Oaks homes for sale. Okay. And then headline 2, I'm going to just come over here and I'm going to grab some of that, view newly updated listings. So I'm going to put some of that. So that's what I'm saying is that's how you're going to kind of do that. You're going to just grab some of this information here to help you get a starting point on your ad and put that information in here. This display, this final URL, I'm either going to use my landing page like I had created before, or I'm just going to grab that listing page like this of that listing. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it in here.
Bam.
And it's going to update that stuff for me. Okay. Now, if I'm doing an ad to attract buyers, it's not for a listing. That's for, let's say, homes for sale in Thousand Oaks. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and let's type in Thousand Oaks, California for city like this. And then if you're one of those people that says, well, I only work with buyers that are, $1 million and above, or I only work with luxury, or I only work with this, or I'm going to work with everybody. If you want to kind of change your search parameters, you can do that just by typing in. So like say, hey, I'm going into Thousand Oaks, and then I'm going to say price I only want to advertise people see listings that are, $1 million and above. Okay.
Wait, can we stop on that really quick? I love
Yeah.
that because this is what we do. So when I go on Google without using command, right? When I go on Google and I create these ads and then I have the landing page on my website, I don't want to just give them everything to search on because I want to cap the quality of leads price wise that I get because I don't want people coming in for mobile homes. I don't want people coming in to rent, right? In our area, I want them to come in a little towards the higher end of the median price, right? So if my median price is 700, 800,000, I want to be around 900 to a million, right? So
Sure.
realize that because what he's doing right now is he's doing the exact same thing we do. So great job on that, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would only push back a little bit on this one thing, and that is, if your median price point is say 800,000, it would be great to do one $3 million transaction, but the odds of getting that one $3 million transaction may take you a whole year to get that one, whereas you could probably do 12 $700,000 transactions, right?
Yeah.
Now, I do agree with you. If you're like, hey, I don't know anything about mobile homes, I don't want to even do them, or I can't stand condos or whatever, it's your business model, you do it. This is just how you're going to do that. So I could come in and I could say property types, only houses, only one single family residential, don't want to deal with anything else. Or if you're like, dude, I am the condo king or queen, then you say, I'm only doing condos or townhomes.
Boom.
And you could do beds, baths. Now, one of the things you could do too is you could say, if you're doing Thousand Oaks, you could say, here's a list of all the homes for sale in Thousand Oaks that are, that are homes, they're not condos. Let's reset this price point so it's, all price points. But I could say, if I scroll down here to where it says keywords, I could type in pool. And so I'm going to say, I want to advertise, or I want to show people a list of here's all the 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes in Thousand Oaks with a pool for sale right now.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, let's take that a step further, Jeff, because we can go and change our ad up on Google based on those keywords. And now if you want to say lake view, beach front, ocean view, you can change all of that up and start attracting the right people to your database. And that's how we're bringing it all together here.
Sure. Now let's think about this. So if I use, let's say I'm doing an ad and I'm doing it for 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, minimums, with a pool in Thousand Oaks, right? And if I put one of my keywords as like pool, now when I put it inside of here, and I put my keyword as pool, these are what's going to be, your broad search terms. So when somebody's searching for, cost to build a pool, stuff like that, or pool contractors, that's going to show up. Your ad will show up for them. But do I care if I'm showing my ad to people that are possibly looking about building a pool? I actually want my ad to show up, because what if those people are like, you know what? Maybe we should just sell our house and buy one that's already got a pool in it. Instead of spending $200,000 to build the pool we want, we can sell our house and and buy another one. I mean,
Are you in my brain, Jeff? You're in my brain. This is my argument with myself every day.
There's well, at least in my area, generally speaking, now your guys' area could possibly be completely different, but usually appraisers in my area generally only give like $10,000 to $20,000 a bump for a pool on the appraisal versus a house that doesn't have it. Now that we're just talking pools, we're not talking all the hardscape and all that kind of stuff. So if it's a $10,000 or $20,000 bump, but it costs me $80,000 to build it, that's a conversation I can have with my potential home buyer or home seller and say, hey, you're going to get more bang for your buck if we go resell instead of building it, from scratch. And so those are some different kind of conversations you can have with them. But do I care if my listing is showing up that way? Ultimately, no. I want to target those people as much as possible. So yeah, that's where I'm going to put that information there. You can also, the same type of, when you're if you want to show people, go back here. You want to say, only gated communities. So like you're saying, like, hey, I'm the beachfront guy or girl, person. I'm that person. I'm this person. Then that's where you're gonna really narrow down this search. You're gonna grab this whole thing here. You're gonna copy it, and you're gonna use that as your final URL, and you're gonna paste that in there. And so that is what you're gonna use to get people to come to your site. Okay. Now understand that if we're not using a landing page, okay, if we're not using a landing page, we're going to be getting people who are coming here that aren't going to register. They're not forced registering. So your cost per lead will be higher, but the quality of that lead will be significantly better because somebody is on your site. They've been looking for a little while, and they've willfully given you their information to inquire more about that property. So that lead may be, $20, $30, $40, $50, but that lead is going to be significantly closer to a transaction than a $2 Facebook lead.
Dude, I love it.
So we still got a couple minutes more, but
we've got a couple minutes. We have a question here. Once you're done with this, let me know so that I can shift off of it. Martina has a question that relates to what you were saying. What are the display paths?
So in Google, that's a really good question.
Yep.
In Google, display path is simply what is the ad going to show the consumer that if they click on this, where are they going? Okay. So you don't have to fill this in. Okay. So I would not put in the display path. I would just do it like this. So the consumer knows if I click on this, these two, because when I have the ad content in here and my description, I've got all this stuff really dialed in. When a consumer sees Thousand Oaks home for sale, stuff like that, and they see, oh, if I click on this, I'm actually going to see, okay, 3 beds. Okay, yep, I like that, and I'm going to click it. So you instead of just a general, realtor.com being the display ad. Okay, so all it's doing is really just kind of helping you to narrow that funnel down and qualify people before they even get into your ecosystem.
Dude, I love that. All right, so let me get to the question to wrap this up. And look, if you have any questions, throw them into the chat, throw them into the Facebook chat as well. Rock, what's up, Rock? Dude, I feel like I haven't talked to you forever. Thanks for showing up today. Rock, I think on a previous call, you showed an example of an email newsletter that featured a book that you're reading, something about real estate, some culture piece. Can you direct me or us to what that was again? Yes, 100%. Let me share that with you. Actually, I had my marketing department send me the test yesterday because we always get it ready on Wednesdays. We finalize it Wednesdays because it goes out on Thursdays. And here you go. This is what it looks like. You see yesterday, MailChimp template, right? This one's for my agent, Joanne. And what we do at the top portion is we find an article that we think is appealing, right? Housing, something that has to do with the real estate world, easy, right? And then what we do is we add a little bit of a twist here. We say, hey, this is what we're reading or rereading, right? And then this is a podcast that we just finished listening to. And check out one of our newer listings and jump into the virtual tour. You can click on it, it takes you to the virtual tour. And obviously you can go window shopping if you click on that. That's the outline of what we have. So I think that's what you were looking for, Rock. Pam, do you know why when you send out an email through command, why it doesn't show if anyone opened it or clicked on it? Jeff, that's a question for you because I don't use that part of command.
Sure. So if you go to contacts, this is something that, a lot of different providers out there, they talk about, being able to predict who's likely to buy or things like that. And really all they are is they're just saying, okay, here's some data points, and we think based on these data points, we think this person is going to transact. And so as an agent using Command, how you're going to do that, and this is kind of answer Pam's question, is you have last contacted, which means this is the last time that I've sent something out to them, right? So this is, you say, okay, this is the last time I've reached out, as I sent an email or some point of contact to them. Last visited means this is the last time they had interacted with something I had sent out. Okay, so last visited means, if I open up this one, I can see how a text went out and whether somebody had interacted with it. So inside of timeline, this is where you're going to see that. And you could change this to be just emails to say, okay, hey, when was the emails that they've looked at or opened? All that information is going to be inside of your timeline. So and if I'm looking at one, make sure that they're seeing that it's going to be there. But if I'm saying, hey, what's the first thing I should do every day when I open Command? It's to come to my contacts, sort by last visited, which really, for all intents and purposes, could be rephrased to, last time somebody connected with me or, connected with my software. And I'm going to call these people because these are the people that have most recently done something in an interactive way with me. So that's kind of a long story short and a different, to answer that in a couple different ways there, Pam, that's where I would go.
I love that. I'm responding to a question. Hold on, by text. Somebody texted me. All right, good. Good. Let me see what else we got here. Joe says thank you. Pam also says thank you. Dude, I think we wrap this up. Jeff, I think we hit a groove, man. I think I like your new room. It's got good vibes. I didn't ask you what you were drinking, but I'm not even sure if you were drinking anything today.
Yeah, I polished off my cotton candy.
Bang!
There you go.
You got Bang. I got organic cold brew.
Is that Trader Joe's? Dude, I love Trader Joe's.
Dude, Trader Joe's is a place, bro. I love that.
What's your favorite thing from Trader Joe's as we leave here?
They have these little fizzy drinks. They're like watermelon or strawberry. It's like strawberry soda, but they come in these slim little jars and they're pink. They're the best. And David, we are caffeine junkies. Hell yes. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right. Jeff, what are we going to be doing next week, buddy? Where do we want to go?
So my focus really, and where I really want to take this, and really in all of our region is when I look at the vital signs for our region, my number one goal is I really want every agent as much as possible to cap, right? Because if you're capping, it's good for you, it's good for your profit share, it's good for your market center, it's good for region, it's good for everybody. And so moving forward, that's really where I want to focus on and grow and all this stuff is how can we teach you to cap in your business using Command. And so that's what our focus is going to be moving forward. And so campaigns, a certain portion is part of that. We're going to get into smart plans and really doing some of that stuff. And so just know that as we're moving forward, yes, we want to cover what's new and what's happening coming up for Family Reunion. Yes, we want to cover stuff that's going to be released after Family Reunion, but more importantly, beyond the bells and whistles and the shiny objects, at the end of the day, my sincere goal is that you make money to fuel your dreams, fuel your family, fuel everything that you want in your life. And if we're not doing that, then we're just here just to entertain ourselves, and that's what an Xbox is for.
I love it. Some quick questions here as we wind up. Somebody says, if I'm on a team I'm doing this to the team's command or on my own command?
That's actually a really good question. So the teamifying, let me get you that answer before I leave. The teamifying of campaigns is coming extremely soon. I don't know if that's next. Okay, so next week, it's labs only. The teamifying of campaigns, that's going to include team social posts, team social ads, all that teamifying of all that. And so I would see that coming out of labs, probably by family reunion, somewhere in there. And so I would definitely be looking at that, but that is going to be in labs next week. And so just so people who maybe are new or maybe a little bit confused, labs is where something is working, it's out of development, and it's sent into labs where people will give honest and clear feedback. And then once everybody says, yep, it's good, let's go, it gets sent out and into the wild. And then and that's where we, use it. And if we get little bugs and stuff, we'll report that. But so I would imagine that teamifying only being labs for maybe a couple of weeks, especially with family reunion coming up, there's going to be a big push to try to get that done. So kind of a long way to answer that, but yeah.
All right, dude. Thank you, man. That was a good session, bro. Let's figure out what to talk about next time, like exact title, process, and we'll blast it out to everybody again. Thanks for being on. Jump onto the YouTube channel. Tomorrow we'll have this up. Jeff, keep on drinking. Bang, buddy.
You got it, bro.
Thanks, man. Bye, everybody.
Bye.